Hi, fellow writers. That's right, I'm calling you a writer, as more than likely you have written something before, be it a novel, essay, email, or grocery list. What you might not have given yourself credit for is just how much thinking goes into writing. Let's do a quick activity. Grab a sheet of paper and draw a line down the middle. Put a happy face on one side, a question mark on the other. Pause the video here for 1 minute. Below the happy face, jot down what you know about learning to write. Below the question mark, jot down what questions you have about writing. Give your gut reaction. After only 1 minute, chances are you have many thoughts not yet written down. These thoughts still exist and may be quite valuable even though all we see is what you've jotted down on paper. Perhaps you've wondered about why I asked you those questions, or why it matters, or maybe you recalled a writing experience from your childhood. The point is, all that thinking is invisible. You have the potential to be a great writer if only all parts of learning are celebrated, including the invisible thinking behind the visible writing. The activity you just did values your existing knowledge, and knowing things contributes to writing, though you may not always stop and ask yourself, what do I already know? You may be great at different parts of the thinking writing process, though not all parts are currently equally valued. For example, you might be great at connecting your ideas, but struggle with the very visible proofreading. You might find drafting challenging, but could make a video of the same ideas with ease. You could write the perfect tweet, yet dislike essays. But the range of writing tasks, modalities of communication, and types of written products altogether provide tremendous opportunity to not only celebrate strengths and build up on weaknesses, but to also learn to think and write better the next time. If you appreciate how writing is a high form of thinking, then you begin to demystify what it means to be a good writer. It is good thinking that makes good writing possible. And you are thinking all the time. You might start with an idea or question like those you wrote down in your notebook a few minutes ago. Then you might continue thinking and come up with more ideas or connections on your own, or perhaps grow them by talking to others. The point is, your thinking evolves before, during, and after you jotted those notes down. Given the time to pause and write more, your notes will likely change even during the rest of this video. Everyone can be coached, guided, and instructed toward better writing because we know the different kinds of thinking that support writing. For example, knowing things is one type of thinking that makes your prior knowledge visible. Mind wandering is another that allows for creativity. Planning sets a visible path to your goals. Feedback opens up your thinking to the world. Most likely, in your school experience, new information about how the brain learns has not yet been leveraged to maximize your thinking writing ability. Writing is often broken down into only pre-writing, writing, and revision. But in ThinkWriteMBE, each of these three stages are broken down even further. Pre-writing covers what you understand about the writing assignment, what things you know, mind wandering, and reflecting. Most of these kinds of thinking stages are invisible to others, though they happen all the time in your head. Writing, the most visible stages, includes how you map and connect ideas, outline or order them, plan your path forward, research information, and draft a written product. Revision has a lot, from seeking to exchange with the peer to dealing with feedback, editing, revising, proofreading, and of course completing your work. Much of these stages are invisible to others, meaning they don't always see what you did or how you went about it, but you are often expected or asked to do this. Pre-writing and revision make up a large proportion of the thinking that feeds into a written product, even though you mostly, up until now, share what comes out of the visible writing stages. The good news is that you can now be more precise about your learning, writing, and unique needs because we can make the invisible parts of writing visible. ThinkWriteMBE enables this type of precision by using a transdisciplinary lens. Contributions from psychology, neuroscience, and education push back against cookie-cutter education and celebrates your own learning. ThinkWrite is a new tool for a more individualized approach to writing. It allows for you to begin where you need to, move through the thinking stages in a way that you need, and focuses on progress relative to you. ThinkWrite represents an innovative methodology to help everyone find success in this complex mental task. As we develop the ThinkWrite tool, we plan for a website and app. You will be invited to use a dozen new tools to shape your thinking, many of which have not existed before. You will have the autonomy to choose from a range of 300 plus activities at different stages of writing. You will have access to a myriad of options about how to approach learning rather than using a one-size-fits-all curriculum. Writing is a way of making our thinking visible, and we write in order to think, and think in order to write. By celebrating the invisible thinking behind the visible writing, ThinkWriteMBE helps both the teacher and the learner to identify personal learning trajectories for better writing. Thank you, and contact us for more information. We'd love to know your questions from the 1 Minute Paper.